The weather forecast video for southern New England for Monday, June 10th. I'm Storm Chaser Justin here. Wet Monday evening and overnight for sure tonight. Some flash flooding is certainly possible, localized, in localized pockets, with localized amounts up to 2 inches or more. So, yeah, we do have a flash flood threat tonight. A small but non-zero chance for a thunderstorm. Maybe 1 or 2 stronger storms. I'm not too concerned about it. And then some morning rain tomorrow, and we will get into the rest of it in just a few minutes. Here's a look around the country this afternoon. You can see excessive heat warnings that stretch from Arizona up in California and beyond there into Nevada too. This is especially for Arizona. Actual air temperatures could get up into the 100 teens. So very, very hot temperatures there. You can see a lakeshore wind advisory in effect in Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and into Kentucky. Lakeshore flood warning for near lake the lakes in upstate New York. And then a flood watch for North Carolina and Virginia. For us here in southern New England, you could see that there is a special weather statement. That is for heavy rain tonight, localized flooding is possible, and if the confidence continues to increase, we could have a flood watch. That chance is going down a little bit, but I do think there's a risk for some localized flash flooding, maybe some bad flash flooding in especially localized areas. If this comes down and downpour stalls, these are not going to be fast-moving downpours. They're going to be slow movers. So it's certainly possible someone could pick up about 1 to 2 inches of rain in an hour and a half period of time. This is the NAM model. The HRRR model for tonight's rain. You could see a few bullseyes, especially in Connecticut. This is according to the HRRR model. You'll see the NAM and the GFS disagree with this. But you could see a bullseye for Hartford about 2 inches, just to the south of Hartford, actually about 2.5 inches there, and even just to the south of that, just to the north of New Haven, possibly 2.4 inches or maybe closer to 3 inches. So a very localized area. And then you go up to Boston, you could see less than 1/10 of an inch. So it's very localized with these showers and thunderstorms tonight. This is the NAM. You could see it completely shifts it. So Boston is now closer to the bullseye, and Hartford gets close to nothing. So it's a very localized area. And the NAM actually has several bullseyes up in New York and up into Vermont, with those areas up to 3 inches to maybe 3.5 inches. But this shows just to the south of actually Worcester, it shows about 2.2 inches or so. Towards Boston, closer to Boston, you got about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. So yeah, it's very the models do vary. So it's not like one model. All models show the same thing. They all show something different. I can show this with the GFS model. This is the GFS, and it shows something completely different. Well, it doesn't show something completely different. It just shows something way different from the HRRR and a tiny bit different from the NAM model. So you can see it just has several little bullseyes. It shows the bullseye up in New Hampshire up to about maybe 1.5 to 2 inches there. So it cuts back on the total, so you don't get like the 3 to 4 inches amount. But it just does show closer towards Boston about 1 inch or so, just to the north there. 1.5 inches not out of the question. And then towards just to the actually west of Springfield, it shows another bullseye of about 1.2 inches. And towards Hartford, you get about 1/2 inch to close to 1 inch. And to the south of there, you can see on the coastlines of Connecticut, you can see a few areas that could get locally higher. So this is just a broad view. Some areas could get nothing, and some areas could get slammed with several inches of rain. So it's very localized in how these thunderstorms play out, which will determine where the heaviest rain will fall. So this is the Weather Prediction Center's forecast. I don't show this. I'm not going to be showing this too often, but you can see Us here in southern New England, we have heavy rain, flash flooding possible for tonight. This is the excessive rainfall outlook, and you can see a lot of Connecticut is under a slight risk of flash flooding, and even in a little corner of southwest Massachusetts is under the slight risk. You see a little marginal risk down towards New Mexico and a little bit of Texas, and another slight risk that I said from West Virginia all the way down to Georgia, and another one in southern Virginia, and a little snip of North Carolina there. But here's a closer look. You can see the slight risk there. But generally speaking, a marginal and slight risk for flash flooding. And as you get out towards the far Cape, it tapers off. And the confidence is pretty high there that you won't get too bad of flash flooding. In the slight risk, the yellow color, that's where we have a higher confidence that there could be some more significant flash flooding. Here's the Storm Prediction Center outlook. You can see general thunder for Montana, down towards Wyoming, Nebraska, and both the Dakotas, and towards Minnesota and Wisconsin, UP and Michigan. There's some general thunder, so no severe weather expected today. There could be some stronger to severe storms down towards Florida, where there's a bit more instability and convection, but generally speaking, no severe weather's expected. Closer look here in New England, you can see the general thunder gets up to about just to the north of Portland, Maine, and basically all of southern New England is under it. All of Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts under the threat of just some general thunder. So again, no severe weather's expected. And here, I'm not going to be showing this too often. This is just a thunderstorm outlook. This is for the OZ to the O4Z model. You can see just a small chance of some thunderstorms, and this is actually beginning earlier than this. This is just the later model, so for late tonight through early tomorrow morning, you can see some thunderstorms possible. No severe weather, again, is expected. It's June, so that means we check the tropics, and you can see nothing's expected in the next 48 hours. And in days where there's nothing in the Atlantic or the Gulf, and there's something in the Pacific, we will check that. Because if there's nothing here and there's something in the Pacific, I do want to warn about that. Because if it's in the Pacific, it takes a turn, and it could go into like California, Arizona area. It could bring some of that moisture over to here, so we do have to worry about it. But not as much as we do if it's in the Atlantic or Gulf of Mexico. If they're in the Gulf of Mexico or Atlantic, that's a more significant concern for us. But nothing's expected in the next 48 hours. Here's the 5-day forecast for southern New England. You could see Tuesday, tomorrow. Some showers. This is mainly for the morning. I do think we will get a few peaks of sunshine in the afternoon, and that will allow the temperatures to warm up to around 70. Some could get a little higher, probably 72, 73. Some could stay lower in the upper 60s, especially, I'd say, in the higher terrain in Berkshire County, Massachusetts. Wednesday, warm back up into the low mid 70s. Some could actually top out near 80 on Wednesday. I wouldn't be surprised about that. And the sunshine does return. Thursday, we introduced the chance of some more showers, but that temperature, ugly. 60 degrees with a low of 52. It's just going to be downright nasty on Thursday. Rain at times falling, maybe several locally heavy downpours. Some, especially in, again, Berkshire County, may not get out of the upper 50s. So it's going to be just a gross day on Thursday. But Friday and Saturday, the sun comes back out and we warm things up nicely. And there is a warming trend as we head towards next week. Doesn't show it here. But temperatures look like they may finally warm back up. These temperatures are well below normal. Our average temperature is near 80 degrees or just above. So these are well below normal temperatures. So that's the weather forecast video for southern New England for Monday, June 10th, 2019. Thank you all for watching, and stay safe out there.